My Great Britain this week achieved his greatness by climbing over 500,000 feet, the height of 17 Everests, and walking 2,000 miles, equivalent to hiking from Edinburgh to Greece. 82-year-old Nick Gardner from Gairloch in the Scottish Highlands took up the pursuit known as Munro bagging, which is to say climbing all 282 mountains in Scotland taller than 3,000 feet and known as Munros just a couple of years ago. On this channel last week, we showed Nick completing his challenge by summiting his 282nd Munro, Cairngorm. He joins me now. Good evening, Nick.
Hello, Neil. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, delighted to have you with us this evening. First of all, enormous congratulations. You've joined a very important and dedicated exclusive club there. But tell me, what led you to set out on such a demanding physical challenge?
It occurred when my wife, who developed Alzheimer's a few years ago, and she got progressively worse, and there comes a time when I couldn't look after her and she had to go into care. And I was suffering mentally. I was finding life very difficult, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, I've got to get something to occupy myself. And since I'd been a climber all my life, but I hadn't actually climbed many of the Munros, I thought, right, I don't think an 8-year-old has ever climbed all the Munros, so I'm going for that. That's what I'll do. Once I started the climbing, then my, I won't say my emotional problems went away, they didn't, but then it helped me deal with those problems.
It's so impressive. It's so impressive that you responded to the way you were feeling by taking on something so epic. And just, I have to say as well, just 2 years to rack up the total of 282. That's impressive. Some people spread this out over many years if they ever complete it at all. How many? Had you climbed a Munro? Did you have any in the bag when you started?
Oh, I'd climbed a lot of mountains beforehand, but I started counting again once I'd reached the age of 80.
So you started again at the beginning?
More.
What was it like to encounter the reception that you received on Cairngorm when you topped out at 282?
Totally surreal. I never dreamt anything like it would happen. I knew a few of my friends were coming, but to have a reception like that, it was just surreal. I was in cloud cuckoo land, as we might say.
How had word spread? How had word spread to so many that you were about to complete the challenge? Because there was a whole crowd up there on Cairngorm.
Yes, I knew people would be interested, and so we had announced it about 8 weeks beforehand, giving me enough time to climb the ones I hadn't already climbed, and they all turned up at the car park, ready to come with me. Couldn't believe it.
Amazing. Across the 282, what was your favourite Munro?
Oh, it has to be on the Coolin Ridge on Skye. It's such an interesting geological feature. And I've wanted to do that as an 80-year-old. I'd climbed it before when I was younger, but I wanted to do it as an 80-year-old. It's such an amazing mountaineering experience.
What would you regard as the hardest or perhaps the most frightening, if a climber of your experience is ever actually frightened anymore?
No, I'm not frightened on a mountain. I've never been in that position, but parts of the Coolin Ridge would be the most frightening that I've been on, where one slip in the wrong place and you fall off. So, but I can cope with that one.
I'm absolutely amazed and in awe of your achievement, Nick. The Great Britain, as you perhaps know, or if you don't, I'd just like to pay attention for a few minutes every week to someone who has confronted a challenge and maybe risen above difficult circumstances to demonstrate something unique about the human spirit. And what you've had to tell us tonight, I think, absolutely goes into that file.